What's happening, Financial Man Dapper D with Dap No Cap Podcast, Dap No Cap TV. So, it is Thursday, and normally, I do my meme Mondays. It's not Monday. Sorry, I made a mistake. But so I came across a meme that, yes, I do borrow your memes. I came across a meme that I posted up on my Instagram page that basically showed, it said, this is how women look for good men. And it showed a woman with a sniper rifle looking down the scope with the wrong eye. So it's like you're supposed to line it up. Like if you're right eye dominant, you're supposed to line it up to your right eye with the muzzle, everything lined up together. See what I'm saying? See my thumbs, eye. It's supposed to line up like that. Unfortunately, what the young lady did, she had it like this. So it's like, and then she had the eye closed. So it's like, okay, you can't possibly see from here to here and straight down the thumbs. As far as the rifle as being the thumbs, you couldn't possibly see correctly. You couldn't actually see your target and ever be successful at shooting at what you're trying to shoot at. It's kind of the same thing when it comes to relationships or companionship. Because a lot of times, you really need to take the time to get to know somebody before you actually go out there and invest your time in them. So companionship, going out on a date, enjoying each other's company, finding out what their likes, their dislikes are, how are they raised, what is their core value system. You have to find out a lot of those different things from somebody before you decide, ooh, you're attractive and I would like to be seen with you on a regular basis. Now, that's not a generational thing. That's not saying, okay, the millennials do that. No, we did that in my generation too. We all get caught up by our eyes. We see somebody that's very attractive and we want to spend time with them, and we get intrigued. And the hope is that, okay, we hope that you're just as beautiful inside as you are outside. So the ladies, they look at a guy and they see he's well taken care of, and he has all those genetic precursors to the fact that because women are conditioned to think like, all right, what are my children going to look like? So they look at you and they want to see whether or not you got pretty teeth, whether you got good hair, whatever. I've even been told, people were looking at my nail beds to say, okay, well, you have wonderful nail beds. So women look at a lot of that different stuff, And then, of course, on top of whether or not you're a provider, how do you treat your mother? How do you treat females that you have in your life and stuff like that? If you seem like some bad guy, then they won't be around you. So now I can understand those things. It seems like, archaic, much like a man clubbing a woman over the head and dragging her by her hair like the old school cartoons did. It's kind of archaic how women think about it in that sense, but I still understand it. But the problem is that there's an echo chamber when women get together and start talking about certain things that just quite frankly aren't true, but you have to have a certain level of understanding to know why they aren't true. So when women, I think Mary J had a song, I think it was Mr. Bad, Mr. Good. It was something like that. Shout out to Mary J. I'm sorry for butchering the name of the song, but she was just saying that, good guys are no fun and bad guys are no good, and but I'm still, it was like Mr. Wrong. I think she was saying she was gonna stick with her Mr. Wrong because the bad guy makes her feel good on the inside. So think about the analogy like this: if there were two babysitters that you had, right, and one observed all of the rules that your parents set. Okay, we're leaving, we're gonna leave you here with our child. By all means, the TV goes off at 9 o'clock. Story time after that, they have to take their baths and showers and stuff like that and get ready for bed, have their homework and their clothes laid out and all that stuff. It's a structured to-do list. And then you have another babysitter that does not observe those things. It's like, okay, you can eat cake well after bedtime, wherever you decide to go to sleep is where you want to go to sleep at. Who do you think the kids are going to like? The kids are going to be infatuated with babysitter number 2. That's my favorite babysitter. I love her. I want her all the time. I don't like the other lady. She's mean. And unfortunately, that's kind of how we look at it, like, when it comes to those relationships. Men and women. But, I'm going to focus on the women right now. But men and women, they choose the path of least resistance when it comes to these relationships a lot of the time. So that's why when women get mad and said, okay, well, the reason why you picked that chick is because of the fact that I wouldn't put up with your junk. Well, it goes the same way. It goes the exact same way when it comes to, to women. So they pick that guy that doesn't require anything from them. The bad guy, of course, because he ain't, all he cares is about that you pretty. That's it. He's like, all right, look, you know, she look good and she got that body and she got that face, and you know, and you could be really character, you could be horrible, you know what I'm saying, as far as your character, as far as your drive, as far as your spirit. You could be a very toxic person, and there are a lot of toxic people out there. And the problem is that what's making toxicity grow is the fact that we're rewarding the toxic people with good people, with people with money, with all this other stuff. So they're not saying that, okay, look, you know, when you fail a whole bunch of times at trying to do things a certain way, you will sit back and you'll be like, you know what, I probably need to change up what I'm doing. But when you're successful, when you do the wrong thing and you still become a millionaire, when you do the bad thing and they still elect you mayor, and when you do the horrible thing, you know, that's morally corrupt, and people still pat you on the back and say, you know what, you're a really good guy, there's no reason for you to change. So there's no room for that woman to grow when people are allowing her to just be pretty. So when she's looking for a dude that does not question that does not get mad at the fact that, okay, well, look, you're in a relationship with me. Thusly, you are a representation of not just me, but our relationship, the health of our relationship. So if I, as a man, go out and I'm looking at every female known to man, I'm out here chasing after chicks, I'm out here constantly trying to get numbers and everything else, but just to say that, okay, I didn't really sleep with nobody, I'm exchanging my Snapchat or all my social media with every female that I meet. For what reason? I have no idea. But if I'm doing that, I'm a representation of our relationship, that the health of it must not be that great if I am so much on the take like that. If I'm willing to talk to anybody and everybody, you know, to try to socialize with, then yeah, that's not the case. That's not a healthy situation. And then also that makes the lady that I'm with look like a fool. So, and that's what women say more than anything else. Don't have me out here looking like a fool. Don't have me out here looking stupid. You know, and guys feel the same way. So it's like, okay, when you decide that you want to wear something like uber provocative, but you're wearing it, especially you're wearing it on your girls' night out. You're not wearing it when we're out together. You're wearing it on your girls' night out. That raises a question mark. Like, okay, well, you trying to dress like, you know, Laura Ingalls from Little House on the Prairie when you with me to have me think that, okay, you are this type of female. And then when you out with your friends, you want to wear the Beyonce come, you know, the fuck 'em dress. So that's the, you know, that automatically raises up. But even if you're willing to wear that dress with me, you're going to bring an undue attention to yourself, in the sense that if you don't like guys trying to pull up on you and talk to you, and then you want to walk around like, dudes are just so thirsty, whatever it is, and then want me to go knock somebody out because that guy was disrespectful, you got to realize that you wore something that basically enticed this dude to shoot his shot at all costs. That's what they say. It's like, okay, well, he gonna risk it all. Well, that ain't risking his own home situation, but it does in some senses if he get caught. But it also risks it all when, if you're the lady on my arm and he disrespects you, yeah, I'm gonna put him on his butt. That's just what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna knock him out. So the thing is that you gotta realize that I'm not gonna put myself in a situation. I'm not going to go into a gang territory wearing the opposition's color and then get mad because the fact is like, look, man, it's just the color green, or it's just the color whatever it is. Like, no, you know good and well that opposition does not like that color. That opposition, it was willing to kill you over that. So by all means, don't wear that unless you really want to smoke. So for the ladies, it's like, okay, it's just a common sense thing. If you don't want that type of attention, you know, that's that serious, then by all means, don't wear the thing that's, you know good and well that person gonna come up and he's gonna disrespect you personally. He's gonna disrespect the man that you're with. He's gonna disrespect the health of your relationship, because of the fact that if you entertain that conversation in any kind of way, if you're not just on some more breaks, you know, pause, get out my face, talk to the hand. If you're not on anything but that, you know, the person that you're with, whether it be male or female, they're going to automatically start, you're chipping away at the foundation of your relationship. So people like to say, oh, well, you know, well, somebody's insecure and this, that, and other. Now, it's not has nothing to do with insecurity. It has to do with respect. So it's like, I've never been an insecure guy when it came to that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Whether it was in myself or in a relationship I was in, I always felt like, okay, if you're going to do something, there's no way that I could possibly stop you from doing what you're doing. So it's not for me to sit around and worry about it. I'm not the type to sit here and go through your phone. I'm not the type to sit here and hit you up a million times when you're out with your girls. It's like, I want you to take pictures because I want you to document what you're doing. Other than that, it's like, I ain't telling you to send them to me tonight to show me where you're at. It's like, nah, kick it, have fun, do you. I don't know. And I might be sitting, I ain't the petty type to be like, okay, well, you gonna go out, well, I'm gonna go out. No, I'm more of a type that's like, I'm going to be at home chilling, watching my movie, watching my documentary, playing the video game, working on paperwork, you know, setting up a business. I'm gonna do whatever it is I feel like doing. And then when you come back home, hey, nothing but kisses and hugs and everything else. You get showered and do what you do and be like, all right, babe, so how was your day? You know? But other than that, it's not that serious. It's not about that. It's about you respecting yourself. Because guess what? Being in the wrong place at the wrong time, indulging in conversation that you shouldn't, period, let alone while you're in a relationship, all it takes is that one mistake to basically tear away the trust that another person has for you, that belief that they have in you. So it's like, you can't get that back, not in traditional ways. It takes a long time to get back trust when you tear it away. When you mess it up, it takes a very long time to get it back. So you have to really be careful about stuff. So people think like, well, I gotta walk on eggshells in a relationship. In anything that you want to preserve, you have to take some kind of precautions in it to protect it. You do that. Just like parents do. Yeah, true enough, I could tell my kid to go ahead and ride that dirt bike with no helmet and everything else because, hey, look, it's all about you having fun. YOLO. No. But as a parent, I care about this child that I created and put on this earth. If I'm telling you, okay, even if I'm ballsy enough to allow you to ride a dirt bike as a child, you know, not talking about BMX, I'm talking about a full-fledged moto, like, then yeah, I want you to put on the pads. I want you to put on the helmet. I want you to do all the things that you're supposed to do, you know, because I care about you enough and I don't want, because all you get when there's a horrific accident and you didn't wear any of that stuff is oops. But now, years of rehab, probably never walk the way you're supposed to again. All this other detrimental stuff that happens. Oops does not fix the fact that, you know, it took you too many lessons to learn the simple thing. So don't take so many times. Don't be avant-garde with your person's trust or their belief in you or their belief that the fact that whenever you go out, you can take care of your business. Ladies, there's a way that you look for a guy. The bad guy, then also he wasn't trained, raised, or in any kind of way put through the qualifying or vetting system to be the good man that you need. He's just gonna provide you that thrill. So as long as you go out saying that, okay, I just want a thrill, then great. But when you're constantly shopping over in the he ain't got nothing but trouble, drama, bad air, toxic, you know, feelings about women and everything else, and that's the guy that you go to because he got money or because he looked good or because of whatever it is, because he's so persistent and he will not let the fact that you won't give him the time of day go. There's a fine line between insanity and genius. There's a fine line between persistence and stalking. Just because of the fact that he won't let you go does not mean that that's a good situation. You know, he's just hard-headed, and or you've entertained so much conversation that you haven't really shown him the way out. Like, there you go, sir. Like they do on the airplane, they say, okay, your exits are here, 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 here. And when they do all of that, you got to realize that it's very different when you've done everything that you're supposed to do to be able to tell somebody that, look, I don't have any more energy to entertain your conversation and I need it to stop right now. When you do that and they still persist, that's when your significant other comes in and solidifies that situation, whether it be man or woman or whatever it is, to let them know, like, look, all right, scoop. So good men are conditioned in a way where they learn either by watching others, by listening to the women that are in their lives, mothers, sisters, aunties, and stuff like that, and listening to their pain and seeing what it is. Because it's not just a class of do it like this. It's not just simple as that. When you love a woman, and it starts off with your mother or your grandmother or somebody like that, when you love a woman, you want her to be happy 24/7. As a young male, you end up seeing the things that make your mother sad, make your grandmother sad, make your aunt sad, make your sister sad. And then you start learning that, okay, these are not the things that I should do. You know, once you mature to a certain level, those are no longer options of the things that you do to women. You know, that's the thing. So it has nothing to do with age. I mean, as you can see, I got grays all over. And this guys I know that's fully grayed out. They look like daggone Raiden off of Mortal Kombat, and they still are immature. It doesn't have anything to do with a chronological age. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with what you've gone through, the decisions that you made to become the man that you want to be. You'll see that once you change your filter of how you look at it. In that meme, the lady was looking through the wrong eye. When you're trying to find a good guy that came from all this bad stock, this bad beginnings, this bad, and it's okay to have a disruptive home, a toxic home. It's to have been through all kind of scarring situations, but you as the man has to systematically build yourself out of that. Find your way out of that. Ladies, stop trying to heal something that you didn't break. You know, the same thing with men. We gotta leave it to these people to figure themselves out. Because if they're not actively trying to better themselves, they're just setting themselves up to basically be not just your burden, but you're going to spend most of your time trying to fix the other person and not working on your own forward progress. And then after all of the things that you've done, once you finally get yourself together, once that person finally gets themselves together, they end up looking at you like, yo, like when I met you 5 years ago, you were in this position right here. And 5 years later, look at me, I've come up so much, but it was due to your help. You know, that's what they don't say or realize. And they look at you, and 5 years later, you're still in this exact same spot that I found you in. Why haven't you progressed? And they look at you like you a boo-boo the fool. Like, I need a man or a woman that's going to keep progressing. You're going to grow with me. You see the growth with me from the last 5 years. Not realizing that the whole sole purpose, the whole reason why they were able to grow, because you were out there defending all of the toxic things, fighting away all of them negative feelings, helping them get through all of their demons. But you didn't work on yourself during that time frame. So this should be the age of self-help, one, and finding of as my brothers, you know, in the 5% Nation always talk about knowledge of self. It's important that you do that. Find who you are. Figure it out. That's your sole purpose. Figure out your passion. Learn what makes you tick. So by the time you figure yourself out, it's easy to present yourself to the world because of the fact that you already know everything there is to know about you. Nobody can come and misrepresent you because you've basically solidified every part of you to give to the world and to that other person when you finally meet them. You know how you are in times of turmoil. Some people don't know. Some people just guess. Oh, well, you know, if it was me, like people do in a scary movie, they go watch a scary movie and see what happens. And, oh, well, I wouldn't have went in the closet. I would have went downstairs in the basement. You don't know that until you're in that situation. And that's the problem. A lot of people guesstimate and they tell you what they think is a good answer. But when they get into that situation, they don't know that it's harder than you think. People tell a man or a woman to walk away from somebody that's been treating them bad, but they've gotten connected. It's more difficult than you think. So the object is to never get connected to anything toxic like that. It's not to never take chances. It's just always to work on yourself, make sure that you're prepared for the next step that you're going to take, and then everything will work itself out. That doesn't mean that everything will be happily ever after. You will find out that you meet, you enjoy each other's company, you find out all these great things, you're thinking that the bond is getting tighter and tighter, but then you start finding out that, okay, there's a couple of things, the deeper you get into it, that, okay, we covered lightly in conversation over the years, but we never got deeply into. And now I'm finding out that, as I'm learning myself more, that what I thought was just an irritant is actually a deal breaker. Once you figure that out, it's like, oh man, you know. So you got to find yourself. So you'll know what the deal breakers are by the time you meet somebody. So you know not to even waste your time by getting in a relationship. You got to stop looking at the bad guy as even an option. Guess what, ladies? If you stand as a unified front, as y'all do on so many other things that are negative, if y'all stand as a unified front and demand a level of change that is positive in men, not all this, you know, because the unified front now that I hear in music and in culture today is just that, yeah, I'm pretty, I ain't gonna do nothing, y'all gonna pay me money just to stand next to you type of deal. And a lot of women are echoing that. And I'm like, wow, that's really bad. It's really horrible. And you can keep saying that men ain't trash, that men ain't nothing. You can say that all day. And as an explanation for why you don't have anybody, because even the bad guys think that that's a bullshit thought process. So the good guys looking at it like, there's no way I'm going to commit to you. There's no way I'm going to spend my time with you. There's no way that even no matter how much money I have that I'm going to spend it on you, if you're coming in with that list of demands, you will pay me. I don't have to pay you to be in a relationship. It's not anything about it. I know good and well that in a relationship, if I'm good financially, then we're good. Some things don't need to be said. But when you're walking in the door, they're like, I need you to make $500 million so I don't have to make any money, so I can basically live off yours. Like, everybody's always talking about their children is like that. That's my little broke best friend. In today's society, it seems as though having a woman, a female that thinks like this new generation thinks, it's like having a pretty broke best friend. She don't want to really do nothing, make no money. And what she does do is going to be based off her looks. So, it's for y'all to figure that out and think about it and see whether or not it resonates with you all the same way. But the meme says something about people looking through the wrong eye. Guys, you can't just look at the physical, because that's all you get in the end. A lot of times, really beautiful women have not been nurtured or cultured the right way in order for them to also have character as well. Take a great looking woman, put her on one side of the street with bags, grocery bags, walking down the street. Put a less attractive woman on the opposite scale. No matter how gorgeous, even though eyes in the eye of the beholder, there are certain blocks or bullet points or certain qualifications that, people all generally think is attractive. There's something, whatever, So you put this supposed gorgeous woman on one side of the street, and you put this less attractive woman on the other side of the street, and they're both walking to the same destination. They both got tons of grocery bags. You can put them on the same side of the street so people don't have to worry about traffic. I can guarantee you, if you were to drive by them 1 minute and see them, and then drive by 5 minutes later to this long destination that they're walking to, that pretty woman will not be still on that side of the road. So whereas that woman that's less attractive has not gotten as many handouts. That's the point. Her character has been built on, I will do it myself. It is not so much on, all right, well, and that's not to say that there aren't any gorgeous women that haven't grinded to do whatever it is that they do in the field that they are in, but they would be lying if they said that, okay, they hadn't gotten out of a ticket just because they were cute. That they hadn't gotten, whatever, some free food or free, like nowadays you can become a internet influencer just by being beautiful, and they send you free clothes just to say, all right, here, try my clothes on, take a picture of yourself and put it on your Instagram. They're not gonna do that for a supposedly ugly, out of shape, unattractive person. They're not gonna do that. People will find you on Instagram and say, look, you look great. I want to go ahead and have you wear my gear. Free gear, free gear, free gear, free gear. So how do you build a humble, earnest character from something like that? I can tell you it's difficult. It's not impossible, but it's difficult. It's difficult than people just having to learn work ethic by saying, okay, I work for what I want. I get it based on the merits of what I just did, and here I go. It's more difficult. So anyway, so be focused on changing up how your sights are lined up. What matters to you has to line up with where you want to be and who you want to be with. But you definitely have to work on yourself first. You have to take care of whatever it is first. I can't be this no account dude wanting a good woman, but that's kind of how it is. That's how it's been in all generations. But at the same time, it's like when we're in the generation of I want something for nothing, it's even more so now because, I want to be the raggediest person on the planet, but then I want the most accomplished, I want her to look like whoever's supposed to be I want her to look like Beyonce, but I want her to have all the degrees that Michelle Obama got and all the poise that Maya Angelou has and the singing ability of Jasmine Sullivan and Layla Hathaway. And then I want her to be, a chef like whoever, and then I want to be a porn star in bed, but then I don't want to bring anything to the table. That's kind of the generation that we in on both sides. You see men out there mad at the world, feeling like, oh, well, and they shortcut it. They say, okay, well, I'm just going to go out and get as much money as I can possibly get because I ain't trying to build all those characteristics to the point where I deserve a woman that I just named all those criteria for. And then, so they just come up and show a lot of cash flow and find something that will bite on that bait, and then there they go. You got your new young person's power couple. I got the money, you got the beauty, boof, there we go. Now on the opposite side, you know, females are just like, all right, fine, you know, this guy that has all this good stuff going for him because he can chef it up, he can cook, he's great in bed, he loves his mama, he loves animals, he volunteers at the pet shelter or whatever. All this, he does all these wonderful things on the planet, and then she's just like, okay, so what do I do? Really nothing. When the last time you actually worked a job? What's a job? Like all this other stuff that they go on and on about, you're like, man, wow. So you really thought your whole objective in life was just to be pretty. Like they had back in the day in the archaic times, they had finishing schools for girls that just got them ready to be housewives. It seemed like we're going back to that type of thing. But the housewives back in the day used to cook and clean and do all this other stuff. The ladies of the day, it's like they don't want to do that. Like, meaning like, I want to go out and party. Hot girl summer every year. You know, and that type of thing. I won't be on trips. I ain't worried about cleaning my house. I need to be off in somebody else's villa in some place that got a beach where they come clean my room after I'm in there. But where's the work? Where's the work? Where's the work on you? You know, what are your thoughts on politics, on policies, on theology, on, you know, whatever, children, on race relations in the world, let alone America? Like, what are your thoughts about all that stuff? Like, guys are so happy now that they could just get a girl that like football, you know? Do you have like interests that I have, you know? But when we talk about the deeper subjects that actually have to do with what we're doing in this world, and you know, I ain't gonna say God forbid, but if you plan on having children together, how are we gonna raise these kids to survive in this world? That's very important. So, not so much the teeth or the color of the eyes and the texture of the hair, but you need to be finding out where this person's heart at. What really makes them tick? What do they really love? What makes them a good person? Is that going to continue? All the potential you see in somebody has to be based off some sort of fact, not just the hope that it'll happen. So once you get to that particular point, everything else will take off for you and the person that you're looking at and the job that you're looking for and the, you know, and the passion that you're trying to pursue. All of that stuff will take off. Once you line all of those things up you need to line up in your life, everything will take off after that. It's easy money after that, you know? So push forward. Learn you. Line up all of those things. Be the excellence that you're requiring somebody else to be. If you want that guy to have this, and this, you damn well better be on your way to getting it yourself. It's not just so you can say, I don't need you. It's so you can say, a lot of times when you meet your partner, they may be good at this part, low at this part. Good at this part, low at this part. And it alters. Sometimes it takes a good woman to tell me that, hey, let me show you the way in this particular area. And because I've let my guard down and I've let you in my life and I'm willing to submit to you just like you're willing to submit to me, I'm like, okay, baby, show me. It's simple. So it goes both ways. Me being the man, me always being the one that's going to be ridiculed or praised for success and for failures of the family finances, of everything that goes on between the man and the woman. If I know something that my lady friend does not know, that my love interest does not know, when I say, okay, babe, look, let me show you how I've been doing this, or this is the way that we should try it. It would be advantageous for her to be like, okay, let's check it out. Let me see. And regardless of how you agree or you don't agree, y'all get to weigh each other's opinions out against each other and y'all devise your way. That's how that works. Submitting is not slavery or indentured servitude or anything like that. It is literally like, look, I'm giving of myself. I'm giving my ear. I'm willing to listen. Let's parlay off each other. Let's have our conversation. You know, because we know that despite what the world does, because the world is corrupt in so many different ways, even on social media and everything else, people will tell you anything. So we're going to devise our way that's comfortable with us. And once you do that, based on your experiences, their experiences, how y'all want to live, the things that y'all both love, what makes y'all both tick, then you got your power couple. But stop looking for these dudes that just look good in a wife beater, ladies. He got the tattoos. Oh, he got all them pretty goals. Or whatever it is that makes y'all, you know, all happy on the inside. It's a lot more to being a good man than that, you know, than having some money. Because there's a lot of lames with money. There's a lot of wife beaters with money, rapists with money, a lot of just degenerate guys with money. And if you're just looking for security, that don't necessarily mean you're gonna get it just because he got it. I give you $1, that guy gives you 20. Difference is, that was the last dollar I had. That dude got $20 million. He gave you a 20. That's what you mean to him. $20. A very small percent of what he had. And I'm willing to give you my all. I ain't gonna be broke forever. So when I get my 20 million, guess how much of that you get?